Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be finishing the train crossings here in the Lego City. So let's get started. Okay, so all around the city, this is just one example of a train crossing here that I have in the city. Pretty much it is just these curved ramps that came with the road plate packs, and then there's some light gray tile in between the two tracks, and then there's some dark gray tile here. The reason that there's not a curved ramp on this side is because it would overhang the edge of the table here. So I just put dark gray tiles instead. And so what I want to do today, my main goal is to fix this on every single crossing and to also fix this section as well, because as it stands right now, this does not look that great. This section here is supposed to be raised up like this, but you can't have a 2x2 tile here because then the wheels on the train will clip that corner of the tile and it will potentially derail the train. And so I want to avoid that. And so I'm going to be using either these 2x2 corner tiles with a rounded tile in that open spot there, like a quarter round tile in that spot there, or I'm going to be using these tiles here and then putting a 1x1 tile in the middle to give it a kind of different look. And so hopefully that'll look really good. So I'm going to start with this one right here because this is the first one that you see when you walk into the room here. And so I want to tackle this one first, get kind of an idea for what exactly this is going to look like. And then I can pretty much just copy and paste this from this to the other sections around the city that need this. All right, so to fill in this area here, instead of putting a 4x4 plate and then putting the tiles on top of that, I'm using this 4x4 L-shaped plate here, and I'm going to put that down like this, and then I'm going to go ahead and put this plate in the corner here. Obviously, I'm going to put plates underneath it to kind of give it some support, but that is kind of the general idea that I'm going for, and then I'm going to put the tiles on top. So let me add the support really quick just to show you what I mean. Okay, so now that I have the support in with that blue plate and I went ahead and added that in, I'm just going to place this wedge plate in like so. And then I have a number of options here. I could use this, like I said, and then just put that like that. I think that could look pretty good. I could also, instead of using that, I could use this with a quarter round tile, which I have right here. It would have to be a full 2x2 plate under there, but I could use a quarter round plate or tile. And also, I think this looks fine too. I don't think that's a bad look for it, so I think that is also a pretty feasible option. And then my third option is the triangle tile in here to give it a really weathered look. And so I'm probably gonna mix it up as I go along because there's probably about 4 or 5 train crossings that need work today. So I am gonna be using a variation of these, but for now I'm probably just gonna stick with this because I actually quite like it. I didn't think I would like it as much as the other two options, but I quite like it. So then you pretty much just put the tiles back on top, and there you go. So now the train should run pretty smoothly. Let me grab one of the coaches here, and it's perfect. So now over here is the edge of the table, and so I have to pretty much just raise these tiles up to this level here, but I want it to look good on all of the sides here. So I have to just get a bunch of dark gray plate and stack it on top of each other, and I can add in browns and dark browns and light grays to add some texture to the sides as well. All right, so I've been pretty busy back here, and pretty much all I'm doing is just mills plating it essentially, but I'm using a whole bunch of different layers of plates in here just so I can kind of add in a little bit of extra detail. And I think this looks pretty good. And then once you get to the top here, you can just put your tiles on. And that is pretty much it, honestly. That is the entire train crossing here. And it does look a little plain, but I'm totally fine with that. This is just supposed to be like almost like a cut in the city. So it's just kind of, you're taking a slice of the world. You're not just bound to the table. It's kind of implying that, you know, this road continues on down this way, and then also all of the other intersections or the train crossings they all go in their own respective directions. And so I think this is pretty good. I am pretty happy with this, actually. And so now that this first one is done, I pretty much just have a template. And so let me go on to the next one, and I'll show you guys my progress on that. All right, so this one here is actually a little bit easier since I don't have to accommodate for the sides of the train crossing being seen, because the path is covering it up on this side and the grass is covering a lot of it up on that side. So this is gonna be pretty straightforward. I just literally just have to do this edge here, and I have to stack another layer of plate on it. And then I can place the 4x6s on this like so, and then have a 4x4 in the middle. And then I do the same thing that I did the last time, which was put 2x4 plates on the edge here, and then put a plate in the middle, and then have the 1x8 tiles on top. All right, so I went ahead and I finished this back part of the intersection here, and I think it looks pretty good. And I also went ahead and added in this barrier here to stop the cars from crossing when the train is coming by. And I think it looks all right. I think it is a little bit in the way of this path here, but I don't think it's the end of the world, to be honest with you. I think it'll be fine. I might move this coffee cart down a little bit towards the hotel here. I think it looks pretty decent, actually. I couldn't fit it on the other side because of the fence and all the other details that are over there. And so I thought this was the best place to put it. So let me give you guys a quick view from the other side. And I don't think it looks that bad, to be honest with you. It, like I said, it is a little bit in the way here, but it's not the end of the world. I could swap this 1x3 instead of being up against the edge of the edges of these tiles here. I can move it down so it's in line with the edge of these tiles here. And then that'll help it a little bit, I think, but I don't think it really needs modifications just yet. I'm gonna come back in and add more masonry bricks to this wall here whenever I get more. So I'm gonna probably fix that once I do all of that and get the math right for that as well. All right, so the next train crossing that I'm working on is the one that is right next to the tunnel entrance to the mountain here. And I almost don't even want to add the dark gray outline around the edge here, just because it's never going to be seen. Like, you're never going to come down to this low of an angle here. But I'm probably going to do it anyways, just to be thorough and to make everything look proper. But let me go ahead and add this. I did already add some of these tiles on here, but it is a plate too low. I forgot to add the supports in the middle. So I do have to go back and fix that, but I don't think this will take too long because this one and the last one have been pretty easy. I did not need to go in and add the 4x4 corner plates and the wedges and stuff like that. So this crossing here and the crossing from the previous clips have been pretty simple, and then the next two are going to be the ones where I need to work out the math on all of the angles here to make sure that the trains don't clip the tiles, and then I also have to go in and add the backs of them as well. All right, so this crossing is pretty much done here. Like I said, I kept the details on the back of it to a minimum just because you're never really going to see it. And so now if you come along this way, this is the only crossing that I have left to do that has a back to it. The one right around the corner here has ramps on both sides, so I'm going to need to figure that out, but that won't be too bad. Let me focus on this one first, and then we can tackle the other one. All right, so this one is now done as well. I just have to go in and add that 4x4 corner plate here because there's a curve here, so I need to make sure that the train does not clip this, because as it is right now, if I bring this over, you can hear the wheels hitting that tile. And so I don't want that to happen when I have the Orient Express running around with a motor in it. So I'm going to just get ahead of the curve here, literally, and fix that up. And then we'll be good to move on to this last train crossing here. And then that'll be that. All right, so this crossing back here was a tiny bit more complicated than I originally thought it would be. So basically what I did was I just ripped the whole thing out and I started over. And so I have the track here, which I do still need to raise up these light gray 2x2 tiles so that they're at the same height as the rails, like how the tiles on the right here are. But basically what I did was I just put a tiny little bit of support under there, and the ramps are resting on that. And this doesn't need to be crazy strong or anything. It's not going to have any real weight on it. So I think this is more than enough, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to go ahead and put all the plates in under the 2x2 tiles and then replicate this on the other side here. And then that's pretty much that. The only thing though is that since there's a curve here and a curve into the train yard here as well, I'm probably going to end up putting one 4x4 corner there and one there as well. So I think that's probably the best way to go, just so if I ever do have a train in here that I want to bring out, I don't have to worry about it clipping the tile and then potentially derailing back here. All right, so this section here is pretty much done. I did also diversify this a little bit. I put the angled tile over here, and I put the L-shaped one with the curve, the quarter round tile in that one on the other side, just to make it look a little bit different. And the trains have no problem going over both of these, which is good. And then for this one over here, I also put the same angled tile in here as well. And so I think that looks pretty good. I'm happy with this. And this whole area now looks pretty good. I'm happy with this. This has been on my list of things to do for a while. And so I'm finally happy that I got around to doing this. And so now it is just time to do the last one, which is over by the train station. And then we can take it from there. All right, so the last train crossing is the one up at the front here, right by the train yard and the train station. And this one is already pretty much done. The only thing that I have to do is add in the 4x4 corner plate here so that the train that's in the siding at the train station can come out with no problem. So all I really need to do is just place this or swap this 4x4 plate out from under here, put that in, and then add in this plate as well, like I've done for the other crossings, and then that's pretty much it. So I'm going to do this, and then I'll be right back. All right, so I finished putting in this 4x4 corner plate here. That was really easy, actually, and now the train that's in the siding here has enough clearance to get out with no problems. And this has been on my list of things to do for a really long time now, and so I'm really happy that I finally got that done. I also went ahead and added the sidewalk extender on this side of the road as well, because that did not have that yet. And I don't know what's going to go here yet. I got a couple comments saying that I should put an office for the train yard here, and I think that's a great idea. And these pieces are also all from the train yard as well, but I want to redo it in a different way, so I'm going to save that for another video. But on that note, that is going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what I did, make sure to like the video and subscribe, as well as click the bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads. If you guys have any feedback for me on these train crossings, and if you want to see a specific tutorial on them, make sure to drop a comment down below. And once again, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.